Welcome back to the Career Success with GSS series. In part 1 of this video, we explored common interview questions and how to answer them. We'll pick up where we left off for part 2 of this series. What did you like most about your last position? Knowing what you enjoyed about your last position can offer employers insight into your motivations and personality, and whether you'll enjoy the open role. Here's the example. My last position was a great entry-level role at a startup agency. Not only was I learning more about marketing, but management was also very transparent, teaching us a great deal about owning a business. It was a collaborative atmosphere, and the team and I worked together on almost every project. What did you like least about your last position? This question can tell employers what kind of work you enjoy, your experience level, and whether you'd be a good fit with the company culture. But avoid saying anything negative about your former employer, managers, or colleagues. Instead, make your answer more about your career growth and enthusiasm for joining the company. Here's an example. While I enjoyed my time learning and growing in my last job, there was a lack of opportunity in the way I wanted to progress in my career. I deeply enjoyed being challenged and getting better at what I do, which I understand is top priority for managers at your organization. That's why I'm excited to continue having conversations about this opportunity. Can you tell me about a difficult work situation and how you overcame it? This question is often used to assess your problem-solving skills and how well you perform under pressure. Consider using the STAR method to illustrate a work challenge and how you overcame the situation. Specifically, you would structure your answer by stating the context of the situation or challenge, your role or assigned task, the action you took to overcome the challenge, and the result or outcome. Here's an example. My boss had a family emergency and needed to be out of office for 2 weeks without advance notice. Our biggest client had already made plans to visit our office during that time to hear an ad campaign pitch and was concerned that no one else in the office would be up to speed on the project before the deadline. I scheduled an immediate video call with the client to assure them that I could represent my boss's pitch in the meeting. I even made a point of mentioning the client's specific parameters for the campaign. The pitch went ahead as planned and we won the account. How do you respond to stress or change? How you handle stressful situations and adapt to change is an indicator of your ability to solve unexpected problems and learn new processes. Employers want to hire candidates who react to stress constructively and are willing to try new solutions. So it's important that your answer to this question demonstrates personal growth. Provide an answer that demonstrates your ability to stay calm under pressure and adapt to new processes. Here's an example. I am able to stay calm by focusing on the bigger picture first and then breaking down my project into smaller tasks. I always start by identifying the ultimate goal I'm trying to achieve. From there, I make a list of short-term and long-term action items that will get me to my final goal. How do you handle conflicts at work? Employers ask this question to gauge your communication skills, problem-solving skills, and how well you deal with stress. A good answer will illustrate a time when you confronted an obstacle, remained calm, and worked towards a productive solution. Here's an example. I was working as an IT project manager and one employee was constantly late finishing tasks. When I approached him about it, he got defensive, so I kept calm and acknowledged that deadlines are challenging and asked how I could help him meet expectations. He told me that he had been pulled into another project, so I met with the other project manager and we came up with a resolution that lightened the technician's load. For the remainder of the project, the technician delivered great work. I learned that you don't always know what others are experiencing, and by keeping that in mind, you can better navigate conflict and be a more helpful and supportive colleague. What is your greatest accomplishment? It can be overwhelming to pinpoint your single most impressive accomplishment. Instead, think of a few achievements that showcase your work ethic and values. If you can, choose examples that can also tie back to the main responsibilities of the open role. Here's an example. In my last role, I managed all the company's social media content. I noticed other brands were experimenting with videos and seeing great engagement from their customers. So I asked my boss if we could do a low budget test. She agreed, so I produced a video cheaply in-house that drove double the engagement we normally saw on our social media channels. It also drove conversions with 30% of viewers visiting our website within a week of seeing the video. How do you define success? Employers ask this question to see how your definition of success might influence your goals and how you measure them. A good answer will show that you know how to define and measure goals, and you're willing to challenge yourself and work hard to meet them. Consider your proudest achievements, your long-term and short-term successes, and how the company you're interviewing with views success. Give specific examples on how you've succeeded in the past. Here's an example. I define success as fulfilling goals and expectations of my role, as well as helping my colleagues achieve their own benchmarks so the company can be successful. In my previous role, success meant exceeding weekly quotas and implementing new processes that increased productivity and decreased the amount of time it took us to complete our tasks. How do your skills align with this role? While this is similar to questions like why should we hire you or what can you bring to the company, it allows you to be more specific about your work ethic, style, and unique abilities as it relates to the role. An impactful answer will discuss your hard and soft skills and how those skills benefited your employer. Here's an example. I can make anyone feel comfortable in a new environment, which makes me a good fit as a human resource representative. In my previous position, a new employer came to me and told me that she didn't think she was right for the company culture. I took the time to talk to her, and it turned out she had misunderstood a list of voluntary opportunities her manager had emailed as being a very long list of mandatory work she was expected to complete during the weekends. I was able to assure her that she did not have any such demands, and she eventually signed up for one of the voluntary positions and loved the experience. Why should we hire you? While this question may seem intimidating, interviewers are generally just giving you an opportunity to pitch your best qualifications for the job. Use this time to reinforce your best qualities and skills and mention anything else that didn't come up during the interview. Practicing your answer in advance will help you sound confident and reinforce your communication skills. Here's an example. I think I'm a great fit for this job because I'm highly deadline oriented and thrive in a fast-paced work environment. You mentioned that you prefer weekly status updates over monthly updates, and that's something I'm already doing in my current job. So this job feels like a realistic workload and something that would be an exciting challenge. We hope these examples will be useful to you in your next interview. Stay tuned for the final part in this mini-series as we explore some additional questions and suggested answers.